Spurs hang on to beat the Atlanta Hawks 126-125 as we continue Spurs Live. Back inside our Spurs Live studios, Dan Weiss, Madison Hawk. An amazing finish after the Spurs led by as many as 20, and Madison, it was paced by the three 20-point performers tonight. DeAaron Fox with 24 and 12, Victor Wembanyama with 24 and 13, Victor Wembanyama 24 and 12, and Devin Vassell in his homecoming game, 24 points and 4 steals tonight.
Yeah, this was a fun one. When you have three guys up there putting on numbers across the board like that, it's going to be a fun team to watch. 24 points for Victor Wembanyama. I think what impressed me the most, though, with Darren Fox's debut is that he had 13 assists. A reminder, he hasn't played with many of these guys. You know, he was just traded here. First time seeing him in action in the silver and black, but he was still able to pace the offense. He still played with a lot of tempo. You see there, the assists tied for 5th most in a Spurs debut. Really, really fun to be able to watch him play.
Yeah, not only he had 13 assists, Chris Paul had 9 more assists. I mean, he was right on his average, too. The Spurs as a team had 36 assists, so I think you add just another good ball handler, and I think that assist, total is just going to bump up each and every night as De'Aaron gets a little bit more comfortable inside the offense.
Absolutely, and offensively, you mentioned it, the numbers that he's able to put up, and then defensively, you and Sean were making great points in the pregame just about how he's another added defensive threat as well, Darren Fox. And I think a lot of time in the NBA, it's not necessarily the primary on-ball defender that you're worried about. It's more that secondary defender like Victor Wembanyama, rim protector. So to have those two guys being able to play off of each other, yes, throughout the pick and roll in the offense, but also defensively, that really was a huge reason that they were able to stop some of the runs that Atlanta went on in that third quarter. Acting head coach Mitch Johnson said sometimes this team hasn't been able to handle those runs. I thought that they did a good job. Yes, it got close there down the stretch, but I thought the Spurs did a good job handling the Hawks in open court.
They had 16 steals in this one. De'Aaron Fox had 3. We mentioned Devin Vassell 4, and Julian Champagnie 5 steals off the bench as well. As they ended up turning Atlanta over in this game 20 times, which turned into 28 points off of turnovers. And even though the Spurs were going against that frisky Atlanta team, they only, managed to turn 10 turnovers tonight off the Spurs, even though they turned it into 20 points. But it was a couple of interesting plays there at the end of the game. And kind of also, as I touched on with Sean, you kind of have to pick your poison. And De'Aaron Fox beats that first defender. Second defender comes over to pick up De'Aaron Fox, and he doesn't make the layup. But there's Wemby there on the backside because of the help defense coming over to slam it down. And that ends up being a huge play in the game as we take a look at Victor Wembanyama's performance here tonight, as Victor comes away with his 25th double-double of the season in this one tonight. Came alive as we've seen him, Madison, in the second half, and that's kind of been his MO here as of late. 24 points, 12 rebounds, shot 8 of 15 from the floor.
Yeah, a lot of times, how about that slam dunk right there? A lot of times we talk about how Victor Wembanyama is just a gravity sucker within the offense because whenever he has the ball in the paint, all eyes are on him, or even when he's behind the arc, he has constant numbers looking at him in opposing jerseys. You take a look at his final stats right there. Victor Wembanyama was able to play a full game today, 24 points, 12 rebounds, but once again, I like the way that he was just able to play off Darren Fox. And De'Aaron Fox and Chris Paul being able to run this offense, and then Steph Castle coming off the bench as well. It led to a lot of success.
De'Aaron Fox is the first Spur to have 20 points, 10 assists in his debut, and he's standing by with Jacob Toby and Sean Elliott.
Dan, thank you very much. De'Aaron, first of all, this is Jacob Toby along with Sean Elliott. Welcome to the Spurs organization. Everyone is so thrilled that you are here. You set a record for the Spurs in your first game, 13 assists, a Spurs debut that's never been done before. What was this night like tonight, playing your first game in a new uniform?
I think it was great, man. Obviously, I felt like I needed some change, and it happened. And I think that this group could be special. I think especially what we did in that first half, especially the last 3 minutes of that half, I think was amazing. But after doing that, you have to be consistent. That's what this league is about. You have players who aren't that good players, great players, and the one thing that's truly sets guys apart is how consistent they are, and the same goes for teams. So we have to be able to try to be consistent, and if you can guard teams at a high level, you always give yourself a chance to win.
Hey, Darren Fox, Sean Elliott here. We've seen players come to the Spurs system and they try hard to fit in and they're not really themselves. How easy was it for you tonight to go out there and play your game early on?
I mean, as soon as I walked in, as soon as I was traded, and everybody got my phone number, everybody told me, come in here and be myself. And that's what I tried to do. Obviously, I feel, like I said, I think this group can be really good. Obviously, I've got CP, Steph, and Vic, who's extremely special, but you try to find your way. And everybody looked at me and said, yo, you've done it to us, so go out there and do it to them. So just getting that type of confidence from your teammates and from the coaching staff, I just go out there and just try to play my game.
Well, it's an amazing debut. What has the last 48, 36 hours been like for you?
It's been crazy, man. I was on the last day of a 13-day road trip, the day I got traded. So, stay another night in Minnesota. It starts to snow when me and J-Mac are about to take off. We're delayed like an hour, get to San Antonio, and it's 75 degrees when I step off the flight.
There you
go. It's been a whirlwind. Obviously, go through physicals, had to get an MRI, on my finger. I'm fine. I've been used to playing with it this year, and it's been a lot trying to learn all the plays, different terminology. It's been a lot. Obviously, I've only played for one franchise in my almost 8 years, but I enjoyed tonight, and I enjoy this process of learning a new team.
Well, you do know that you are not going to play a game inside the Frost Bank Center where the Spurs play their home games until March 2nd. You're in the thick of the rodeo road trip here. Have you heard about the rodeo road trip? What do you think of it?
I've heard about it, man. And the one thing that everyone said is that they try to get those 2 games in Austin during February, so at least you get some type of home game. And we were able to do it, so it's good, man. And I was on my longest road trip of the year, and now I'm on a longer one, but. I feel like when you're on the road, man, that's when you get closer to a team. And I've enjoyed being on the road with them so far. And I know I got a lot more days to go, but like I said, man, I'm having fun with it.
I hope you have a big suitcase.
Oh, man.
And if not, I'm sure the Spurs are going to pick up the dry cleaning for you.
I definitely need it. But I'm not buying any more clothes, so I'm all right.
D, just one more before we let you go. How do you balance, you meant so much to the Kings organization, the love that you felt, the sadness that the fans feel with you going, but you want to come to an organization like the Spurs, which is first class, and you fit in so well with the Spurs culture. So how do you sort of balance those emotions of leading somewhere where you've played your entire career to now coming somewhere where you want to be for a little while here?
I mean, obviously you always have those memories, and the way that I am, and the way that my wife is, like if we have an argument or anything, and I don't want to talk to her, she's like, get over it. So that's kind of what we live by. Great things come to an end, good things come to an end. And I feel like I had a great time there. Obviously we broke the playoffs drought, and I'm in a new place, but she would look at me and be like, get over it. And there's still more work to do. So that's the way that I am, and you have to move on quickly in this league.
All right, DeAaron Fox, a great debut. The Spurs beat the Hawks here in State Farm Arena. DeAaron, welcome again to the Spurs organization. We're thrilled for you, man.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good night.
All right.
Just an awesome guy. He's super nice. He's a family man. He fits the core values that RC Buford, Greg Popovich, and this entire organization have set for years to come. Brian Wright as well, our general manager.
Yeah, no, he's a perfect fit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You couldn't ask for anything more. You got a great young man there who's a terrific teammate, plays the game hard. He's going out there with his fingers taped up, so he's going to play even through a little bit of injury, a little bit of pain. That gets you a lot of respect in the locker room, along with 13 assists and just his scoring and the fact that you win the ball game. I mean, those guys have to feel awfully good for him and everybody else in that locker room.
Check. The Spurs win the first of the rodeo road trip. Long way to go, my friend, right? Long way to go.
Yeah, but you have some confidence now. You got a good road win when you had a team that was coming at you hard there in the second half. You're able to stiff arm them, come away with the W. Now you put that in the rearview mirror. You have a day of practice tomorrow, even though they're not going to go hard, but you have a chance to get build more familiarity and some trust. And so our guys go out there Friday night and try to get another one.
All right, it's a quick 30-minute flight to Charlotte, North Carolina, where the Spurs and the Hornets will play their next game on this rodeo road trip. Great win. Fox's debut. Wemby is a star per usual, and we'll send it back to the studio. Great night tonight here in Atlanta.
Sean, did I hear you say you're going to do De'Aaron Fox's dry cleaning on this road trip?
Not exactly, Dan. Is this thing working? What is going on here? Can't hear you.
All right. We'll see you guys in Charlotte. I could have sworn Sean said he was going to pick up the dry cleaning while he was out there for De'Aaron Fox on this front leg of the rodeo road trip. But, yeah, I mean, I think they hit a lot of points. You know, fits the culture, fits what the team is trying to do in terms of continuing to build and build around the young core. And you add another just steady, heady ball handler and veteran presence down the stretch, and a guy like Darren Fox. I mean, all great things that the Spurs can utilize here as they look to continue to improve here in the second half of the season.
Darren Fox, obviously an elite player on the court, but just listening to him there talk to Sean and Jacob, you can tell that he's just an outstanding guy off the court. Jacob mentioned it, great family man. His wife saying, hey, just get over it. You got to move on. You know, you got to be short-minded whenever you're in the NBA, and I love that. The wife keeping him humble. But I think it's really special, too. A lot of times, you know, you could look at it that it might be tough to embrace a new team while they're on the road and not be able to get to your new home and embrace the new fans. But he had a good point. When they're on the road, it's when he can become closer to his teammates, and there's no more distractions when you're on the road. So I think that it is a unique situation, but he seems to have the right mindset with that.
And his wife from San Antonio, so she's got that part of it covered as well, too, while De'Aaron and the Spurs are out on the rodeo road trip. 24 points, 13 assists in his Spurs debut. Spurs win it 126-125. More Spurs Live when we return after this.